Hi, my name is Zizi. I'm the engineer manager of the global search team at GitLab. Today, I have the members of the team with me. We are going over the 15-7 milestone planning. First, I'm going to have Maddie, who will be talking about the user search improvements.
Thank you, Zizi. Hi, I'm Maddie, and I'll be talking about user search. We are basically trying to leverage Elasticsearch in our tech stack to improve the way we do user search, because currently we are performing database queries to search users. So we've done the work to add the data necessary to perform searches on users. And in 15.7, we will be writing the search queries in Elasticsearch to perform those queries. Next up in 15.7, we'll also be adding auto-completion for users in the global search bar, similar to the current auto-completions we have there. And then finally, we'll also be improving the API for user search by also leveraging Elasticsearch. That is all for me.
Thank you, Maddie. Next, we have Tomasz, who will be talking about the programming language filters and a couple of other front-end improvements.
Hi, everyone. So in last milestone, 1506, we finished adding a vertical navigation into our search page, and that gave us a nice space to add other additional filters. So in this milestone, we are going to be adding a language filter just underneath the search scopes. And there is a lot more coming in next milestones. We are also working to finish some minor stuff that is adding some help for filtering methods for the search. And we are also finishing a little fix for the header search that will allow us to properly work with it with the tabulators on the keyboard.
Thank you, Tomasz. We have a couple more issues that Terry will explain.
Hi, my name is Terry. Thanks, Susie. So the first issue is going to be a change that if you're searching with any of the syntax for code search, which is the glob extension path or file name, currently that will default to the project scope, which wouldn't return any results. So we'll be making changes so that if you appear to be searching for blobs, we'll automatically switch you over to the blob scope to make your search experience a little bit faster. The next item is a planning item for the advanced search feature to get it ready to support group level wikis. Right now, group level wikis are not searchable, so we'll be doing all of the issue creation to have the work broken down into small steps, similar to what was done for users.
Okay. Thank you, Terry. Other than the features, we also planned performance improvements for the next milestone. So first, I'll pass to John, who will be talking about the work that we are going to do to improve the performance.
Thanks, Susie. Yeah, so we're very passionate on search team about performance, and we want to make sure that we budget time for every milestone to improve performance. And how we're tracking performance is through our global search error budget. And this is where we set the standard on how fast we want things to be. So we're looking forward to improving user search performance with the optimizations that we've made with indexing users. And also we're looking to explore ways we can improve the indexing SLO that we've made for ourselves.
Okay, thank you, John. The next one, I think Terry will be able to help to cover. I think that's related to the code structure.
Right. So we are starting the work to get us ready for some refactoring of one of our main service classes. Currently, the search controller has a pretty heavy reliance upon instance variables, and so we'll plan to replace that reliance with a presenter, which is one of the best practices in the GitLab development guide as well. I think this will start us on the journey to getting that search service refactored.
Thank you, Terry. Okay, the next one is related to our efforts on the index integrity. John, do you have anything to say about this one?
Yes, so this is for when sometimes the Elasticsearch index doesn't match up exactly to the database, and with large systems, things fail. And so what we want to explore is a way to make sure that there is integrity between the two, that if a failure does happen when we're indexing something into Elasticsearch, that we make sure that we're addressing that and we keep the parity between the two.
Okay, thank you, John. The next improvement is about the group level code search. From our data, we have seen the slow searches from the code search. So we are going to try to improve it on the group level code search. John may have more information for this one as well.
Yeah, so this is definitely performance-based. At GitLab, when we do a search, we have to take a lot of things under consideration when it comes to visibility and permissions. And if a user is a member for many projects and namespaces, it can become an expensive operation. And so what this is just an optimization to speed that up. I won't go into the technical details, but we're excited to roll this out because where we have and other scopes roll this out, it's made a big performance improvement.
Okay, thank you, John. The next part, actually, we have a few issues that we originally planned for 15.6 that we have to move over to 15.7. The first one, Siddharth, would you mind to talk about the first one?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, CZ. So in this issue, as a part of this issue, we will highlight in the documentation that there are certain wildcard characters that we are not allowed to search because the search will simply ignore those symbols. So, yeah.
Thank you. The next two that are related to the index lifecycle management. And John, would you mind talking about this tool?
Sure. So with index lifecycle management, what that means is we're creating more indices to have an optimum amount of shards and shard sizes with our Elasticsearch indices. And what our spec trait is we want to make sure that all of our existing tests interact with multiple indices at a time, so that we know that we have the proper test coverage and that the behavior is still working as expected, even when there are multiple indices. And once that is complete, we will feel comfortable starting to roll this out into production. And that's what that second item is we want to roll out the process of index lifecycle management in staging and ultimately production.
Thank you, John. The next two issues are related to the testing for framework using Ready. Terry, you may help to talk more about this too.
Awesome, thanks, CZ. So these two items were rolled over from 15.6. They will be, the first one is trying to determine our data strategy for the first rally tests we're going to conduct, where it's stored, how we're going to gather that data, things like that. The next one is, again, just more data gathering and determining what workload we'll be using for the first test and how that workload will be gathered from Kibana and kind of how we're going to track it going forward.
Thank you, Terry. Other than features and the performance improvements, we will also continue to fix the high priority bugs in the coming milestones. And for the UX design, Nick, our UX designer, will probably spend majority of his time on the navigation group in the next milestone. So we don't plan any specific work for the UX design for the global search, but Nick will help us to address any concerns from UX side when they come. Okay, I think that's all we have for 15.7 milestone. Thank you.